As watch collecting becomes more popular in 2025, here are some style tips to help you as a beginner. Of course, we're gonna wear certain shoes with certain clothing, your belt's gotta match your shoes, all that kind of stuff. Same thing goes for watch collecting. So let's say you want to go more casual. There's a lot of ways to go casual. This is kind of the athleisure. It's the most flexible way you can style a watch. You can go with something as simple as an analog watch on a leather strap, as a diver on kind of a funky strap. There's a fun term which they call desk divers, and that's because most people wear these awesome dive watches, but they only ever wear them at the desk, and if anything, maybe they take them in the shower or wash their hands a little sloppy. Now, if you want to get more in kind of the streetwear scene, there's some awesome stuff out there. You've got things, of course, G-Shocks. You cannot go wrong with a badass G-Shock. It has a nice chunky sport look. They've got tons of different colors, tons of different options. They are super cool watches. Sometimes a little hard to figure out what's happening, but awesome. I'm a fan of some of the just basic analog watches. Of course, this is one of my favorite Beastie Boy watches out there. Anything with bright colors. Swatch has a ton of different things you can wear. Of course, their moon swatches, really awesome. Have a good rabid following as well. They really spice it up. You go with something like our digital mixtape, which has an old school feel, but has a new school flavor to it. Or you can go straight up old school. Especially if you're wearing streetwear, you can wear something like an old Timex with a stretchy strap or an old Casio. Now, if you're gonna class it up, if you're gonna get more classy, wear a suit, you're gonna wear something on a steel band. I personally love diver sport watches because when you put them on a steel band, you can dress them up, you can dress them down, you can put sport watches on a leather strap. There's a lot of different options. Again, you're gonna wanna match the style of your watch to what you're wearing. In terms of casual and great watch collectors, guys like John Mayer, guys like Kevin O'Leary, they really understand how to match the style of their watch to what they're wearing. Again, Kevin O'Leary, huge fan of the red strap. I don't think I've ever seen him without one, but they understand matching what they're wearing, and it can be as casual as a black t-shirt and wearing a really cool piece on your wrist. Now, if you want to get more funky, we're talking about rappers and we're talking about kind of the street scene. They seem to like Richard Meals, Audemars Piguets, which are outrageously expensive. I personally don't like all the diamonds. Diamonds are great on beautiful women. Let's keep them off the watches. Other great celebrities out there is like Mark Wahlberg. He'll wear some super cool Norcanes that he has. It's good to have a fun style watch that reflects your style. So good places to buy your sport watches. Of course, you can buy these at your Swatch stores, at your Macy's, any of those places that sell G-Shocks. They're gonna sell the great stuff. You can buy them direct from Seiko. Let's say we're going to something that's more of a high-end luxury. If you're getting the long jeans or something like that, you can still hit your department stores as well. You can go to straight watch stores. Sometimes duty-free places and airports are great places to stop by and pick things up. If you're going for anything very expensive, high-end, Omega Plus, I like to go to authorized dealers. If you're gonna do a Rolex AP, for me, I always have to go authorized dealer. I have to go to the watch store. I have to make sure it's authentic and is exactly what I want. And I usually like the whole buying experience that comes with it. We at Fair and Swit understand that a lot of people buy stuff direct from us from our website, but whenever we can, we throw in that personal note into the package. We have conversations with people on the phone. We go to watch shows. So I think taking care of the customer and the whole buying experience is very, very important. Now, looking at buying a watch for, let's say, more business attire, please do not go out and buy a Rolex to show people that you have money. This is something that I dislike immensely, because anybody who buys something, and this goes for cars, this goes for watches, this goes for your clothing, if you buy something to show off your wealth or show off, if you're buying it to impress others, you have completely missed the mark on what watch collecting is. And I can tell you, there's a lot of watch collectors that dislike Rolex specifically because a lot of non-watch collectors own that watch. Not me, I'm okay with whatever, but that is a thing out there. Now, a funny thing here is if you're buying, say, something as nice as a Grand Seiko, you are impressing others, but it's all the watch nerds out there who are gonna take notice of that. So you're still trying to impress others, but it's with a very niche, unique market, and of course, you're gonna wanna have a conversation with them. Now, to get some of these nicer watches, I go to authorized retailers. I've got one local named CD Peacock. You've got Rasny, you've got, of course, jewelers like Cottage Hill, which are gonna carry a couple different types of brands. If you're looking for Seikos, Grand Seikos, Oris's, a great spot to visit online is Teddy Baldessar's Teddy's site. He's got some great different versions of stuff, and he's a great dealer. He's a good person to check out. I know there's places like Joma Shop. Again, those are kind of more buyer beware type of places. Forums of watch groups. I actually started there, so I would go into the forums of Watch You Seek and a blog to watch and look for people selling. I myself personally kept it within driving distance so I could go meet the person in person and look at the watch and trade it that way. Of course, there's forums like Moto Watch Group, which will have good traders out there as well. Again, it's kind of a slightly wild, wild west, so just be smart about things and double check credibility of your sellers and your buyers when you're doing doing that. Storing your watch. Of course, anything like these you can put in your drawer, no big deal. We've got solar powered watches. I like to keep my solar powered watch at least somewhere where I can get sunlight so I continue to keep time. Any mechanical watch you buy that's a hand wound, no matter what, is going to stop. So when you pick that watch up off the desk or out of the drawer, you're going to have to wind it basically every day to get it and then make sure the time is correct. Now, with your automatics, these, remember, keep time. They usually have a 40-hour power reserve and they keep time based on your movement. Once you get deeper into watch collecting, you're going to have a whole bunch of watches and you're not going to be able to wear all of them all the time and frequently. So you can do a couple different types for storage. You can get something as simple as watch rolls. These will help protect your watch when they're not being worn. You can go a little bigger and get into a watch box or a watch case to help store them as well. Now, the drawbacks with those two storage is when you take that automatic watch out of it, it probably is going to be stopped. You're going to have to change the date. You're going to have to set the time. Some people like this ritual, but a good option for that is to use a watch winder. Now, I personally only use Wolf watch winders because I've used some, sharper image type of stuff and Brookstone stuff, and I swear they messed up one of my watches. Don't go with the cheap Amazon ones. I don't recommend them. Usually you're putting your higher end watches on this. What it does is it's just going to continuously wind and it's going to move that rotor and keep the rotor moving so that when you want to wear this watch, you can pick it up. They also look pretty badass. They spin around and give you some movement. If you guys are interested in getting one of your first watches, click on the link in the description below to see some really cool models.